Welcome to episode 4 of Crafting on the Plains. This is a Flosstube channel and also a channel about knitting and sewing and quilting and other things that I get up to. My name is Jacintha and I am coming to you from Oklahoma. I am recording this on Sunday. I believe it is September 9th. Is that the date? September 10th. I don't even know what day it is. Which is very indicative of how the last couple weeks have gone. Like I said, this is my 4th episode, so thank you so much for joining me. If you are a new viewer, thank you so much and welcome, and if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much and welcome back. I will have the time stamps below the video as soon as I'm able to get them up for you, so if there's something that you're interested in, you can jump around. I do various crafts, but I have about 90% cross stitch. This time I have a couple other quick things I'm going to show, but I have some cross stitch. I have a little bit of a county fair recap, and I also do have a giveaway during this video. I believe that will be kind of towards the end of the cross stitch segment, so stay tuned for that. Like I've already mentioned, it's been a very crazy couple weeks. I had planned on making another episode a little bit earlier, but I've had just a lot of work busyness. I've been sick. Everybody in our house has been sick at various points. I had some dental stuff that I had to get done that didn't go super well. So I've not been as productive as I had hoped I would be. And there's a lot of things that I worked on just a tiny, tiny bit, and that I'm not even going to bother showing because it's not enough progress to even like warrant showing. You would be able to see what I did. But there's a few other things that I am going to show you that I did work on. So I'm going to just go ahead and start with, I'm actually going to start with my county fair stuff. I'm going to try to go through it kind of quickly. So I entered 2 things in my local county fair this past week, and I just picked them up this morning. And I had no idea how it was going to go. I had never entered anything into a fair before, and I've seen a lot of other cross-stitchers entering things into county fairs and state fairs, and so I just thought, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And I did not enter anything into the state fair this year. You have to register really, really early and then take your stuff up pretty early. I live about 45 minutes to an hour-ish away from where the state fair is held, so not too far. We do go every year, but making a trip up there to take all my stuff, and then of course the regular trip that me and my family take to just see the fair sites, and then another trip back to collect my items would have been a lot this year, so I just could not get things together to do it. But my local county fair is just up the road from me because I do live in the county seat, so I just decided, you know what, I'm going to enter some things. This is my first time entering something and see how it goes. And it went pretty well. So I entered 2 items and both of them placed. So the first item that I entered some cross stitch. And this was the thing that I knew right off the bat that I was going to enter. I mean, I did debate it a little bit, but this is what I entered. And this is a piece you've not seen before. I'm going to hope that there's not too much glare. This is... This right here is Legend of the Deep Blue Sea or something like that. It's by Soda Stitch. And I finished this back in, I want to say May or June, and I framed it. This normally lives in my daughter's room. This is my first Soda Stitch, and it was so much fun. I understand why so many people are addicted to them. And my daughter is anxious for me to get this back up on her wall. So I'm going to do that as soon as possible. And that, I got a second place or a second premium ribbon. So I was pretty proud of that. And then the other item that I entered that this one I was not going to enter. I kind of went back and forth. My husband said, just do it, just see what happens, is this knitted sweater. And this one, this is a sweater I knitted. I finished it, I want to say maybe it was early last year, maybe January or February, maybe a little bit later than that. But it is this one. It's a beautiful color work, or not color, excuse me, lace yoke. And then it also has a lace detail on the sleeves. This is the Jakers pullover by Isabel Kramer. and the yarn is one of my absolute favorite dyers and one of my most favorite colors. This is Plies and Hellhounds, and it is, I can't remember what the base is called, but I think it's her Corriedale base, Marie Cutie. And it is in the colorway Night's Migrations, which is this beautiful, like, dusky purple. I don't think that this is doing it justice. It's a very beautiful dusky purple. But this one, I got first on this one. I was so excited about that because there is another really gorgeous colorwork sweater that I saw. And so I was really proud of myself for that. Anyway, so this is my county fair prizes, and so I'm really proud of myself. I'm most proud of myself for just entering, because I talk myself out of doing a lot of things like that because I think I'm not going to be good enough. So I'm definitely going to enter again next year. Maybe I will get it together and I'll enter the actual state fair if I have time to do so. But I anticipate continuing to re-enter my county fair for years to come, because it was just really fun, and then also getting to meet the other people that were putting in entries, and everyone was so nice and helpful, and it was just really a good time. Okay, so those are my county fair pieces that I just picked up this morning. And then I wanted to show y'all a couple fully finished objects. So the first one is one that you have seen me work on before. And it is this pattern. I'm in a new place, so hopefully. This is a pattern that I showed in my last video. And if you go back to my last video, you can see all of the all my explanation, I guess, of why this is a pattern from an Etsy store that is no longer there and all of this stuff, but I did link a lot of really similar patterns to this in my last video. So if you're interested in stitching something like this, check it out. But here's my finish. And I just used a few different colors of DMC, mostly DMC 310, and then I talked last week about which DMCs I used for the actual colors, but there it is. And I just finished this on, this is a board thing, I don't know, whatever. Came from the Dollar Tree, and I stained it using the Tim Holtz Distress inks. That's something I see Nicole Spohr doing, and she stains her wood pieces with Distress ink, so I just decided to try it out. I thought it turned out great, and I just felt like it needed something else, so I put a bow on. I'm not a big bow, I'm like a huge bow person, but if something needs a bow, I'll put a bow. And so I'm really happy about this, and I think it'll be cute. It is a cute little accent piece in my house, so I'm happy to have it done. That was a pretty quick stitch. The next thing that I finished is, this is something you have not seen because I finished this last year. So this, here we go, is Dracula's Confession by Lindy Stitches. And I have the pattern. I always want to hold this upside down. I have the pattern right here, and this will be part of the giveaway. So this right here is the pattern. I stitched the smaller version, which is this one. Like I said, I always hold this upside down. The smaller version, and what I love about Lindy Stitches is that a lot of her patterns, if you stitch them on the called for thread count or the called for fabric count, you can fit them in an 8x10 or other standard size frame, and I love that. So I actually stitched this last year. I want to say I finished it maybe September, and I just couldn't find a frame that I liked. I was indecisive about what I wanted the frame to be, and so I found this on a sale at Michael's, and I am really excited. I love how it looks. I did lace it myself. It was kind of tricky because, as you can see, it's got some straight lines, but then it also doesn't in some other ways. So it was a little bit tricky. I used a conversion from Forbidden Fiber Company. So this is Forbidden Fiber Company, Forbidden Fiber Company fabric and floss, and they just have a whole conversion on their website that you can just purchase. And you can actually buy it as a kit, which is why I'm doing a giveaway with this, because what happened was I had this on my to-stitch list for a very long time, and then I saw that Diana from It Is Kismet. She used to do a Flosstube. I think she's just on Instagram now. I wish she'd come back and do a Flosstube. And she was giving away she periodically gives away patterns that she stitched. So she was giving this one away, and I won it, which was so exciting. And then I found the Forbidden Fiber co-conversion, so I was trying to just buy the floss and the fabric, but they have a full kit, and they end up sending me the whole kit with the pattern. So I have two of the patterns, the one that Diana sent me, and then the one that I got from Forbidden Fiber Company. So that's why this one I have extra, and it's a brand new pattern. So I'm very happy with this, and that's why I'm not sharing like the floss and fabric information, because I'm just going to link to you the Forbidden Fiber Company information down below, and then you can go pick up the conversion yourself if that's something you're interested in. But I love how this turned out. Okay, so those are my finished objects. I'm going to show you my cross stitch whips, of which I only have two. And I'm going to warn you that they're both in their hoops or Q-snaps. So the first one is in this bag that I made, and I love it. This makes me so happy. This bag does. And this one is in a hoop because I was stitching on it just earlier today. Like while my daughter was napping, I was stitching on this. So this pattern, it would help if I showed you the pattern. This is Raccoon Rabble. Pardon the crinkling. I'm going to pull it out so it doesn't glare. Raccoon Rabble by Plum Street Samplers. And I love these animal stacks. I have several of them. And here is where I am. Let's see if I can, there, that's probably better. That's where I am. And it's so cute. This pumpkin is a lot of stitches. So I'm getting through it. This needle minder is, I think, I actually don't remember. I bought this at Keepsakes when I was there a couple years ago. I happened to be in Cincinnati for a conference, and so I went over there for like 30 minutes. So unfortunately, I don't know. But this is where it is. It's coming along really well. I'm enjoying this one. The little baby raccoon has a little bit of over one that I still need to do, and I just did not have the brain capacity to do over one this morning. So there we are. But I like it. I have all of the called for fancy flosses, and then I have a few, like half the call for DMC, and then the rest of the DMC I just subbed in. And I tried to make kind of fallish floss drops for this. I would really like to have this piece finished this fall. Okay, my next whip is, like I said, I worked on a couple other projects that I just have not put very much into. My next whip, which is in this bag by Sheba Designs. I love her bags. When I do purchase bags that I do not make myself, I purchase these. This is White Winter Moth, which I will pop a picture of below. This is a pattern by Kathy Barrett, and it is in the Q-snap because, again, I stitch on this pretty much every day, and the progress that I made is all on this side. So I finished up this one, this motif, this Quaker motif. I went up here, I stitched this Quaker motif. I made a tiny little start on this Quaker motif, and then I stitched this little bird, which is so cute. And this needle minder is by Flamingo Toes. And this one is supposed to be 100 stitches a day. I have not been doing that. I usually put in like 40 to 50 stitches like half the days, but it is what it is. It's coming along. The fabric is a 32 count Salt Bush by Fox and Rabbit. I forgot to mention Raccoon Rabble is stitched on a 36 count Milk and Honey by Fiber and Web. And the call for threads are just so beautiful. These are the called for DMCs that Kathy provides you. And I love it. I will probably put this piece, I don't anticipate getting it done this year. I had wanted to, but I just don't think I will, and that's okay. My goal is to put this piece on my whipco board for next year and try to make it a focus and just get it finished next year. But for right now, I'm enjoying just slowly getting little bits of progress on it every day, and it makes me happy. So, okay, I have one other, so I'm going to show you a plan that I have for cross stitch. So that is in this bag. This is another bag I made. I made this last year when I was still making my bags turned out. This is using Elizabeth Ann Ken Stitch's tutorial 100%. And it's a great tutorial. I just found turning out the bags really tedious, and so I switched to the binding method. But it's got pumpkin spice, fabric, of course. This is from Joann's. I had to have it. And this is a little needle or stitch marker for knitting from, I believe, Simply Serving. It came in a club with a homespun house yarn. So this is, dropping all my stuff, this is a pattern. It is called, obviously it's a pattern. It's called Autumn Alphabet by Willow Hill Samplings. And this was part of the Blue Pumpkin Sal that was started by Mountain Laurel Stitches, and I cannot remember who else. This pattern is controversial because, and I'll pop a picture of it below, or I'll pop a picture of it somewhere on the screen. The pattern, I'm getting really dark. Sorry about that. I had to relocate because the way the window was, it was pulling the light. It was just really weird, and it was looking really dark. Want to make sure you could see me. So in this pattern, Autumn Alphabet, the thing that drew a lot of people to the pattern was that there was this really beautiful blue pumpkin. And it turns out that the pumpkin is not blue in the actual pattern when you pull the threads. And so I don't know if it's an issue with the lighting of the picture, or I suspect because the pumpkin that the one that's called for, I don't even remember what it is because I don't think I bought it. The called for is, it's Gentle Arts. A lot of this is Gentle Arts. And Gentle Art, from what I understand, a few years ago, changed a lot of their color formulas, and so a lot of their colors do not look at all like they used to. And so if you are using a chart that calls for Gentle Arts, and that chart was written more than 5 or so years ago, you have a risk of having substantially different colors when you pull your threads, is my understanding. So the pumpkin that's on it is, I changed my colors. But the pumpkin that's on it does not look, it's like a green color. So here's my progress. I haven't worked on this in quite a while, but I am planning on pulling it out for Sampler September and just hopefully getting it done this month, especially because it's autumn. So I made a few color conversions. One is this like blue-black. It was supposed to be, I think, cast iron skillet, and for some reason I could not find cast iron skillet anywhere when I was working or kitting this up. And so I use Classic Colorworks Nighty Night, which is, I have these braided right now, but it's like a blue-black, which I think is really nice on this fabric, and with the blue of the pumpkin, I think it looks really cute. The fabric is a 36 count Murky by Picture This Plus, and it is a lot more like a 40 count. I am stitching 2 over 2, and I could have easily been stitching 1 over 1. And then a lot of this is called for. I've been kind of fussy cutting the letters, and then this, so some of these letters are the same as the outline on the pumpkins, which is, I believe it is Otter Creek by the Gentle Art, and I'm going to pull it out of my braid just so you can see. And you can see it's quite, hopefully, I don't know if you can tell, it's quite variegated from a light, from like a kind of a bluish green all the way to like a dark kind of swampy forest green. And I wanted the lighter kind of blue-green, like the more medium tone blue-green in my pumpkin. So I've been fussy cutting it and then putting the darker shade up here in the letters. I think most everything else except for the pumpkins is the same. The pumpkins, so my top pumpkin, I have been using, or I used, I can't find it now. It's Caribbean Ocean or something like that. And then my bottom pumpkin is Shamrock. So if I can remember the color I used for the top pumpkin, I'll put it below because I don't remember what it is. And I apparently poached it to use in something else. But there we go. So I definitely changed the colors. And I have some filling on the pumpkin, and then I have the rest of the penny border and a couple more letters, and then the rest of this cat. I'm done. This is a Mad for Minders needle minder. I love it. I need to pull this off and put it on my moth piece. But here we are. I really like it. It's beautiful, but just be warned, if you haven't heard already from many, many people, that the colors as charted do not look the way they do in the picture. So I'm hoping on that being a finish this month or within the next couple of months or so. Okay. So that is my kind of ongoing stitches. I wanted to show you the thing for the giveaway. So it's a finished piece and it's a giveaway. This is sewing, but it's related. So I showed last time that I was working on a second, I had enough fabric for a second spooky treats project bag, and I haven't finished. And I actually just finished this right before this video. So there it is. It's really similar to mine, except the back is all spooky print. Is all the little, I don't know, candy apples and popsicles and cute things. So it's really cute. This is a metallic up at the top here. It's a metallic. And then the inside is just lined with the same gray as the binding. And it's hand bound. I have tried to do machine binding on a couple things and it's not gone well. So I need to practice that skill. If anyone has any good like tutorials for machine binding quilts, please let me know. Because I would love to be able to do it and have it be a little bit speedier for smaller projects. I love hand binding, but again, for smaller projects, it might be nice, but I'm just terrible at it. So I hand bind things. But there we go. So this, and then along with it will be my extra copy of Dracula's Confession. And so this is a brand new pattern. This is the one I got from Forbidden Fiber Company. And so if you would like to win this, this is just a thank you. A celebrate spooky season, and thank you for people who have subscribed and been watching. It means so much to me that you're taking your time because there's so many amazing Flosstubes out there. So this is a giveaway. If you would like to win this, please put the word spooky in your comments and I'll randomly draw a comment. Please be over 18 so you can give me your address. And also, please don't say giveaway or prize or win or any of those things that cause people to spam stuff. So if you say that, I'll have to delete it, and I don't want to do that. And I would really appreciate if you would like this video and be a subscriber as well, because I really want to thank you for subscribing. So if you would like to win a copy of Dracula's Confession and this me-made project bag, please put a comment down below with the word spooky. Okay, and please, again, I prefer you to be a subscriber and to like the video. Okay, so that is all for kind of like things that I've done. I have one tiny bit of haul. Well, it's not tiny to me, but it is one item of haul. And this is something I'm so excited about. So I got my first caterpillar cross stitch kit. I'm so excited. I have not done a caterpillar cross stitch along, but I have been like lurking, watching other people do them. And I saw this one featured by Sarah of Sew Me Sarah. And she is one of my favorite folks. She's just so calm to watch. I don't know, just like watching her episodes just makes me happy. It just makes me happy. So she is actually, I think she receives some stuff from them for free. She's sponsored by them, which she totally deserves to be. I am not. I purchased this. I'm not as cool as Sarah is. That's okay. No one can be. And so I bought this and I was actually so excited. So Sarah has, I'm going to link to her Flosstube in case for some reason you've never seen her, which one you should just watch her anyway. But she has, I believe, a discount code that you can use to get like 10% off or something like that from this. I was so excited to buy this on its release date that I forgot to use my discount code. So I paid full price, which is fine. I'm glad to because it's amazing. So this is the Christmas, it's called Christmas Wonderland. And what really sealed it for me was I had to get this is, if you can kind of see the sneak peeks, it's got like an ice skating pond. And then there's like a little village around it or something to that effect. And it reminded me of my grandmother always had one of those electric ice skating rinks that was like magnet and it lit up and then there was magnets. You put little figures on the magnets and they would move around like they were skating. And then she would set up little houses all around. So it was like a little village. And she'd always have that like on a buffet or a little, I don't know, cabinet or something in her house as a display. And as a kid, I loved helping her decorate. She's still living, but she's in a senior living center now. So she doesn't get to decorate as much as she used to. But she is prolific decorator for all the holidays, and I would love helping her decorate, especially helping her decorate for that little setup. And I think she eventually gave it to me when she was like downsizing, but it stopped working after a while because I think she had bought it in like the 80s or something. But anyway, so that reminded me of it, and I just knew I had to stitch this. And so I'll show you really quickly what I got in case anybody's interested. I mean, part of this was I wanted the needle minder because I could have, hopefully you didn't hear that motorcycle. I could have just bought the pattern, the PDF pattern, and that would have been fine. But I really wanted the needle minder, and I just thought it'd be fun to have the whole kit. And the shipping was not bad. I want to say the shipping was like $8 or something, which coming from the UK, I've paid as much of that or more like continental US shipping before. And I want to say it came within a week of when I ordered it. So I was very happy with the shipping, and I will definitely be ordering from Caterpillar Cross Stitch again. But I selected the 32 count even weave. So I got a piece of like, it's like a light gray even weave, and it comes with all of the flosses that you'll need. So this is so much fun. I don't have to sort. I don't have to floss drop. It's just all ready for me. I'm so excited about that. And then this is extra, and then of course it comes with the kit, which is Release's PDF. This is extra, but I had to get this hot cocoa needle minder. I had to. This is, honestly, I was like, I'm going to buy this. And then I thought, well, I just might as well buy the whole kit. I'm not going to pay shipping for just a needle minder. So it's so adorable. It's a little hot cocoa, and it has, oh my goodness, it's got like pink on it. I love anything Christmas that's also kind of like pink, like non-traditional. Like these like bright poppy Christmas colors are my favorite. So I'm very excited about that. That starts, I think, on the 25th. So you probably still have time at least to, like I said, mine came real fast. So you probably have time to order it if they're still doing full kits. But check out Sarah just to, one, check her out because she's amazing. And then two, see if she still has that code. I mean, I paid full price, but I didn't need to. So that is my haul and another plan. So that kind of concludes the cross stitch portion. I have one tiny little bit of knitting, and that is it's really not tiny, but this is my rainbow knitting bag that I made myself a few episodes back. And what I have got is, keep doing that. Okay. All of this yarn. This is the Adventures with Rainbows pullover by Jennifer Steingass. It is a children's pullover, and I am knitting it out of Knit Picks comfy worsted, I want to say. Maybe Knit Picks Bravo worsted. I'm forgetting all of my stuff. But here it is. It's their 100% acrylic one. And I have got the main part of the body done. Getting through all of this gray was so boring. It took me way longer than it should have just because I kept getting bored and stopping. So we had a couple car trips that we went down to Dallas for one of my family members' birthdays, and then we also went down to Southeast Oklahoma for Labor Day weekend, and so we had some car time. So that was what finally forced me to get all of this gray done. But I've started on the stripes for the bottom part, so I'm going to do what my daughter wanted. She has very specific instructions, is all the stripes in like opposite rainbow order and then regular rainbow order. So it's goes purple to red and then red to purple. So I need to, next I'll add in my orange stripe and kind of just keep going down the same way. So this is coming along. Her birthday is mid-October, so I do need to get a wiggle with this. And I really need to start working on her birthday dress. I have not been doing that yet. I'm going to start that. I'm going to start it before my next episode. Accountable. Now I'm accountable because I have to say that I'll start it for my next episode. So I'm definitely going to start that, and I think I can get this done. I just need to prioritize doing some knitting, which I have been doing. It'll be more fun now that I'm in the stripes again. I think I just lagged with that big old gray section. So, and I am knitting her I think it's actually the 6 to 7 year size, just because she's turning 5, but she's quite tall. And I like for her sweaters to be oversized because then they can fit her for more than one, season, because kids grow so fast. So I'm going to try to make it maybe, hopefully, just a tad long, because then she can roll up the sleeves and that's cute. And then it will fit her like for other years. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up all of my stuff. I did not have as much progress on things as I wanted to. I did a tiny bit of quilting, but I think I made like a dozen half square triangles, so it's not even worth showing you. I'll show you more progress on that quilt when I get done. But that's really all. I'm hoping to be back in a couple weeks, hopefully with more to share. And I also am starting to pull out my autumn decor and put out my autumn stuff. So if you're interested in seeing prior finishes that I haven't shown on the Flosstube before that are from years past, please let me know, because I'm happy to show you those as I'm kind of pulling them out to put them up in my house. I think that might be fun. Please follow me on Instagram. I forgot to mention that at the top of the episode. It is crafting.on.the.plains. I'll put that below. And I also did start an email account, a Gmail account, just in case anyone wants to contact me for conversions or just any questions or any information. You can contact me, and it's just crafting.on.the.plains@gmail.com. I was lucky enough to get that one. So please reach out if you have any questions about floss, fabric, anything that I forgot to mention. I will try to have everything that I can linked below. And other than that, I hope that you have a great next couple weeks, and I hope that you get lots of crafting done.